What's up, guys? This is Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be talking about why you can't run fast. We're going to talk about all the mistakes that athletes make with their running form that limit their speed, and then we're going to give you a drill for each mistake to fix that bad habit to make you a faster player. Now, one of the most common mistakes that we see a lot of athletes make when it comes to their foot strike when they run, because your foot strike is really everything, you guys. Your foot strike ties into your knee drive, it ties into how fast you're actually moving, if you could stay on the ball of your foot when you run, and a lot of athletes know to stay on the ball of their foot, but when they strike the ground, let's say I'm striking the ground with my left foot, their heel starts to cave down. And what happens when your heel starts to cave down is your weight shifts to the back part of your foot and you can't really drive your opposite knee up and to get those powerful, explosive, and fast strides that we ultimately need. Now, there are a couple things that cause that to happen. Maybe an athlete is just naturally flat-footed, and this drill is going to help us with that. Maybe an athlete has weak ankles, so when he strikes on the ball of his foot, his ankle doesn't allow his heel to not cave down. It caves down naturally even if he feels like he's on the ball of his foot. So this next drill we're going to do is going to be a barefoot drill, or you could do it in socks, that's going to help you get more comfortable being on the ball of your foot, and it's going to improve your ankle stability to help you flat-footed athletes and athletes who have weaker ankles. But we should not let my heel cave down when I'm running, as that puts you on the least explosive part of your foot. Now, fellas, before we show you that drill, if you are a quarterback or wide receiver watching this video and you would like to train with myself and my staff of coaches this offseason, we are going to be traveling out to 15 different cities across the entire country for 2-day-long QB and wide receiver training camps. So guys, if you want to sign up, go to that very first link in the description below. That is where you can do so. All of our camps, you guys, we limit spots. And the reason why we limit spots is so we can work with each athlete individually, because we feel that's how athletes develop. If you want to develop as an athlete, it's not going to come from just drilling and repping out a bunch of bad habits. We're going to correct your bad habits, tell you how to improve, and give you the reps on top of that to actually take those skills to the next level. But we can't do that with a million people there. So our spots will fill up, you guys. All of these camps will sell out. So if you want to take advantage of our camps being available now, make sure you go to that very first link in the description below. The next camp we're coming out to, or the next city we're coming out to, is San Francisco, California. Then we'll be heading out to Orlando, Florida, Phoenix, Arizona, Columbia, South Carolina, Seattle, Washington, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Then after that, we'll be coming out to Nashville, Tennessee. After that, we'll be coming out to Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Then we'll be coming out to Austin, Texas, Atlanta, Georgia, Denver, Colorado, Boston, Massachusetts, Columbus, Ohio, Salt Lake City, Utah, and finishing it off in Los Angeles, California. So guys, want some info, want to sign up, very first link in that description below. Let's get back to this video. Now, fellas, the reason why we take off the shoes and the cleats for this drill is because it forces you to have to be on the ball of your foot, because this drill involves us jumping up and down a little bit. So it's going to be 3 jumps and then a knee tuck jump. So this drill can also help with your vertical jump if you're an athlete who struggles with your vertical, but it's mainly to promote good foot strike and ankle stability, because you don't want your heel to hit the ground. You're not going to be able to jump if your heel is on the ground. You're able to jump when you're on the ball of your foot and on your toes. A simple thing that you could do also, guys, to work on this is just jumping rope, and jump rope barefoot or in your socks, because again, puts you on the ball of your foot. Now it's going to be 3 jumps. On the 3rd jump, you are going to try to jump as high as you can and tuck your knees to your chest, and you're going to do this for a 10-yard space. So there's no set amount of reps that you need, but it's going to be for a full 10-yard space. So all you're going to do is you're going to be here. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, knee tuck. 1, 2, 3, knee tuck on the 3rd jump. It doesn't need to be a specific number of steps. If you take like an extra hop in between, it's not the end of the world, but I just need 1, 2, 3, bam, shoot your knees up to your chest. So we're gonna show you how this should look full speed for the full depth of this. This is a great drill to work on your ankle stability and having good foot strike. Now, another thing that we see a lot of athletes struggle with is hip flexor strength, which actually limits their stride. So, remember how important we talked about foot strike was, right? But even if you're on the ball of your foot, if you physically can't get your knee and toe up to like a 90-degree angle, you want to keep your ankle flexed, and you want your knee to be even with your hip. Like I said, like a 90-degree angle is what we're ultimately shooting for when we run, so we can just cycle through, strike the ground, pop my knee up, and have good strides that help us cover ground, but they're also fast. A lot of athletes in their hip flexors right here, this area I guess you could say above your groin if you're not familiar. A lot of athletes are very weak right there. So they've struggled to even get up to this position, and that's what makes their strides not as long, not as powerful, and their speed ultimately suffers. So this is a great drill to work on hip flexor strength, and it's just going to be a 3-second switch hold. So you're going to be doing 10 reps on each side, and I recommend 3 sets of this, but you're just going to be here, start up like this, 1, 2, 3, switch. 1, 2, 3, switch. 1, 2, 3, switch. And all you're gonna do is just alternate back and forth till you get 20 reps total or 10 on each side. So again, I'll show you this again. So it's here, you start out like this, bam, we switch and we hold it, because having to hold it in this position, if you have weak hip flexors, it's gonna hurt. Or you're gonna feel it, I should say. It's not gonna hurt, it's gonna be like a good burn, like how you're like working out in the gym, if you will. But you need to hold it for 3 seconds, perfect 90-degree, ankles flexed. Then you switch. 1, 2, 3, switch. And we were trying to drive my knee up and my toe up to that 90-degree angle. One of the best drills you can do for hip flexor strength. Also, a little bit of hip flexor mobility is added in, which will only improve your strides as a player. Now, the next mistake we see a lot of athletes make when it comes to their speed is going to be their arm swings, right? Because your arms are like, I mean, really, like when you're thinking about speed, it's really like 50% your upper body and 50% your lower body. If your lower body's screwed up, then it doesn't matter how perfect your upper body is, you're still gonna run slow. If your upper body's screwed up and your lower body's perfect, you still are gonna run as slow, maybe not as fast as you should be running. I would say maybe it's more like 70-30, 70 lower body, 30 up top, but 7 out of 10 is still a 70%, you guys. It's a C-, right? So your upper body's gotta be clean. When it comes to arm swings, when we're running, a lot of times athletes will flatten out, and they're very much so an elbow runner. I can't be an elbow runner because there's no power in that. I wanna keep a 90-degree with my arms. You gotta make sure that you're relaxed. You don't wanna be tense, obviously. You don't want to tense 90, you wanna relax 90, and you wanna swing from your shoulders. Right past your pockets, right up to your cheek. That's where you ultimately want to be. So this is a great drill to work on that, because this drill is physically impossible. If you're an elbow guy, it forces you to have to be a shoulder guy. So all you're going to do, and we'll show this full speed from a different angle so you guys can see, but you're going to be sitting down. Now when you're sitting down, all you're going to do, you're going to have your legs out like this extended, flex your quads, stand up tall, and you're going to start out with perfect slow arm swings, nice and relaxed. Then you're going to go as fast as you can for 10 seconds. So you're here, then for 10 seconds you're going to go as fast as you can, and what your butt's going to do is move side to side. If I go like this with my elbows, as fast as I can, I don't move side to side with my butt. So if you're doing this, if you're moving side to side on your butt, that means you're doing this drill correctly and you're driving from your shoulders, which hopefully can translate to you actually running in a real game scenario or a real athletic scenario. So we're going to show you how this drill should look full speed. I recommend doing about 5 sets where you start out slow for 5 seconds and then as fast as you can for 10 seconds.